Alright, what is up, you beautiful people, and welcome back to another Direct Strike Weekly Brawl. Ooh, a little baby like at the start. Let's get right to it. Looks like we got starting money, we got some raid bosses, we got aura, okay. All starting money is good, because we're just gonna roll out with some queens, some roaches. Some queens and roaches? Okay, well, actually, alright. So, Brawl modifiers are actually pretty cool this week. Well, cool-ish. I'm gonna get adaptive plating here, biomechanical transfusion there. So we start with a bit more money, which is great. We have an aura we can pick. I don't know what to pick yet. Probably gonna pick water, actually. The extra armor is gonna be pretty good against as Abathur. I'm against the Swan. Oh, jeez. Okay. So against Swan, I think I want to end up going air with Guardians. I'll probably do want to end up going air with Guardians because Infested Thors, like, they have a ability that absolutely just melts the face off of right off of small biological units. It's like the Swan Thor barrage, except it's an infested acid barrage. So yeah, oh my god, Tychus can get 2 heroes this week. Tychus can start with 2 heroes this week? Oh my god. Oh, that's over, boys. That's over, boys. Alright, well, at least one of the cool modifiers is back. At least Aura is back. Aura is one of my faves. I'm gonna get Hydrotic Bile here because Hellbats are light. Yeah, but ooh. I mean, Tyke is just being kept alive right now here. Oh my god. He's getting focused down by the laser beam. Jesus. Tychus' attack speed. Holy. I think Tychus is better off with fire if he can get access to it. We also got Karax. Oh, Karax's fire. That's so good. Karax is really good with the with any sort of attack damage modifier. Let's see. So against Swan, I really don't want to be going ground too heavily because Swan can take me on in the ground really nicely. I'm just gonna start teching right to Guardians right away. Just Guardians, Vipers, and then I mean I could get some Needleless, get some Leviathans. My air units are much stronger than Swan's anti-air capacities, so that's where I'm gonna win here. Oh my god, Swan is just getting murdered here. Yeah, okay, so basically, but this week, it's just gonna be kind of another timing push week, basically. Like, you're just gonna want to save these raid bosses, and then, like, as a team, you can just put them all down. You can't put them down on your opponent's side. That got patched. You used to be able to do that. Oh, one of our opponents is AFK. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But it's like, you can put them on your side of the map. You can put them down defensively. You can put them down offensively, you know, whatever it is that you like. But yeah. There we go. Let's put down one of these. Although against Zagara, this might be bad. Like, Guardians in the air might be bad against Zagara.
Sounds like a plan.
Because you can just get some Scourge. I don't know, maybe I could just get some Leviathans and maybe that might be enough. But I will probably end up having to get Brutalist, if that's the case. Get Prolonged Dispersion. We got a Blaze in the front here. There's some Cyclones coming in. Cyclones will give Tychus a hard time, actually. So that is a good choice. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, like as a team, you can just concentrate your raid bosses, and that would be really good. Let's see. I just need more Guardians, I think, right now.
You can count on me.
Get a handful more Guardians. We've got some Carriers coming in here. Okay. Carriers are also pretty good against Swan. I mean, Swan's laser beam will be causing us some trouble, though. But yeah, it's okay. Well, that's a Ravager. I don't want that yet. I don't want that yet. I will probably want some Ravagers at some point in time. But yeah. Swan can definitely take on Tychus once he has some Cyclones. But without them, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. As you can see here. We have the gas advance. I'm going to get Flyer Attacks level 1, and I'm going to tech this up here. We got some Hunter Killers coming in. I think Tier 3 Blaze is actually really strong against Zagara as well, so it's just all around good news for us. I'm going to drop a Mend here. The Tychus can stay alive just a little longer. Oh, we got a beam coming down. Oh my god. Ooh. Woo. Get him, Guardians. Unfortunately, the Guardians will get a little too close to the base here. But that's okay. The carriers will take care of business, right? The carriers have fire. Yeah. Might get some Vipers, actually. Actually, I don't know. Do I need a Viper? I could use a Viper. And the answer is always you want Vipers, but I don't know. I feel like right now, at this current stage of the game, maybe not. But we'll have to see. There's 2 Blazes now. Oh man, this is getting out of hand. Now there's 2 of them. It's getting out of hand. Those fire bats there are just gonna, no, the hell bats there, I should say, are just getting incinerated. Roasted there. Let's get some more attack damage here. Boom, boom, boom. Bender is back. There's a lot of Goliaths there. But as you can see, the Goliaths don't get even close enough here to really be doing much. Oh, Bender was back, but then he left the game. Arch is trying to join our clan. Okay, so this is just the announcement. Symbolicity or Ward Dodger, I think, are the clan officers. So if you guys want to join the clan, go and ask them, because I actually didn't make the clan. But yeah. Ask Ward Dodger or slash. Is it cats? Add you. There we go. Oh, did I use my biomass? Yeah, I did. Okay, there we go. That's a lot of hunter killers there. That should make a dent. Let's see. I'm gonna drop a mend here. We just want to try and push it in. There we go. Get him, Vipers. Disable those unit attacks. Okay, now once the Goliaths are within range, though, it's kind of bad. There's a siege tank coming out. There we go. Okay, well, yeah. I think I just gotta get some Vipers. They'll disable the Goliaths. We'll be fine. Speaking of getting Vipers, let's get another one here. Oh, there's a raid boss. What's happening with the raid boss? Oh, did Bender just put his raid boss down? So you can see here that the tentacles here, they do a lot of light. Yeah, biocannons do a lot of damage to light units there. I mean, my roaches are all armored, but like there's small units that are vulnerable to splash. So one of the reasons why I'm just like, ooh, that's a lot of tanks. Too bad I can just unslice them like that. Here we go. That's it. Unslices your bread. I saw another one recently. It was like, that's it. Pringles your Lays or something. And like, it's like this picture of like this lady ironing like ruffled chips into straight chips. Oh, okay, that's gonna, there we go. We just bopped that there. That's one of Swan's tanks getting stolen here. I mean, as long as the Goliaths go down, that's all that matters here. I don't know, those Goliaths do be targeting us here. We got a few Corruptors coming in, okay. Maybe of worry for now. Got some Scourge over there. Ah, it's okay. The Hunter Killers are just getting demolished before they get really too close. I probably could use some more Roaches actually on the ground. I could definitely use more ground units, I think. Yeah. The Goliaths are still, they are still kicking my Guardians' butts. Actually, maybe what I need is not Roaches, but a Brutalist. Just something massive to just like shove it down. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, considering we already gassed like this, we'll be fine. Biomass Guardian is just gonna be holding it down. Oh, Nux coming in here. Man. I mean, Swan is just Gonna struggle into Tychus overall, just in general. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get some armor for my ground units. Should I get some armor? I'm gonna get some armor for my air units first, actually, because majority of my wave is air. Let's see. I don't actually have anything to deal with the corruptors, I'll be honest. It's only the vipers that I have. So it's probably time to get some devours as well to try and protect my air units here. There we go. And my corruptors are they're just chilling. They're just chilling. There we go. Hellbat's getting stolen. Man, why do I have such a stuffy nose right now? That doesn't make any sense. I literally just woke up. And there it is. Nexus going down. So yeah. There's one thing. Abathur's got that versatility here. Look at the overview. Oh man, Tychus did so much damage. I didn't even come close. Carax did a little bit more, but yeah, this is a slaughter by all accounts here. All right, well, let's go on to the tier list. All right, and we are back. Let's get right to it. So, game plan. If you guys are just new here, we're gonna look at the auras, we're gonna look at the overall strategy, and we're going to look at some commander rankings. So, let's get right to it. So if you guys have made it to this part and you're not yet subbed, be sure to drop a sub and drop a like, I guess, if you like it. And let's go. So, first aura modifier is aura. You got to pick an aura to buff your units. This is just, you know, just the overall crowd favorite because of how versatile and how different it is every single game. So, yeah. And then there's Stockpile. You start with some extra minerals, so early game is going to be a little bit stronger. You can get that research tech done a little earlier. And then finally we have Raidboss, which allows you to just call down a giant Thor. And I think you get one every 5 minutes. I need to look at the numbers again, but it's like, yeah, you can have like infinite charges based on how long the game goes, basically. And you can have like 10 of them and your team just drops 30 Thors altogether. So yeah, make sure you can catch that wave when it does come. Usually you catch it with your own Thors. That's usually what happens this week. So the strategy really is just to save the raid bosses, drop them as a team, and if anything, you want to try and have an anti-raid boss team, or like you just have an anti-raid boss build. So like that's why I was not going so heavy on Abathur ground, because the raid bosses do have those bio cannons that will just annihilate ground units that are clumped up together, and Abathur's ground units tend to clump a lot. So yeah, going Abathur Air is probably safer. So who do I think is strong this week? I think actually the S-tier champion, the S-tier commanders are actually kind of the same S-tier commanders I had last week. So my reason behind Carax is if you do go for, let's say you do go for like that Crusher ground Carax, I think the raid bosses will be able to kill your sentinels, but then like they'll revive. They might be able to damage some of your annihilators, but your annihilators will also get off a nice strong blast on them as well. So pretty good there. Colossi will set the ground on fire. Probably not kill them off, but it's pretty strong. But usually, if you see enemy drop down raid bosses, you'll drop down your raid bosses. And Carax, if you've been saving the beam, this is the time to use the beam because you beam while your opponent has no beam, so your raid bosses will win like 100% there. And even then, it's just like you can just push with the beam. So it's just like Carax is just gonna be really strong. You could probably go Carax Air and have fire as your aura, like what our Carax did there. And that would be pretty good too, because Carax, like, I think the raid bosses, they might do splash in the air. I don't remember, but they're just not, I don't think they do actually. They shoot like Leviathan-esque spores that hit the target. But like, raid bosses are not good at handling air. So I don't know, Carax is going to be pretty strong. Alarak in general is going to be strong against our top contenders this week, in the sense that you're going to see a lot of Tychus this week. So Alarak is going to be pretty good against that. Also because like you get more money too, so you can get that Wrathwalker Vanguard combination going and rolling much faster. If you roll Fire or Shadow as Alarak this week, that's going to be pretty good as well. And yeah, Alarak's also not too bad against the raid bosses, I think, just because Wrathwalkers just do so much damage and they outrange the raid bosses by so much. Tychus, as you saw, is going to be really good because if you start in 3rd place as Tychus, you can get 2 heroes out at the same time, which is pretty nuts. Obviously, I don't recommend going 2 heroes right away if you don't know what your opponent is, because if your opponent's also Tychus, then you're 2 heroes behind, and your opponent can have 2 Sams. But yeah, it's I feel like Tychus is gonna be pretty good this week. Like Tychus can also deal with the raid bosses really well. I'm not sure Vega can steal him. I think they're heroic, so Vega can't steal him, but they can be tanked very efficiently by Blaze and taken out very efficiently by Tychus and Kev, or Rattlesnake, as some of you guys like to call him. So yeah, in the A tier we have Dehaka, who I think can eat raid bosses, because they're not special units, so he can probably eat them just like Tal'Darim motherships. So look out for that. That means there's one less raid boss to deal with. So I think that's what just makes Dehaka pretty good in that aspect. Dehaka also has a pretty strong ground wave, like it's just really chunky Ultralisk, and like you can go creepers or impalers or both, and you won't be too vulnerable to the raid bosses. I guess like my advice is just being centered around the raid bosses, obviously, but I don't know, Dehaka's ground wave is usually quite strong against most of your opponents too that you'll be facing. Might struggle a little bit against Karax, because Karax air is pretty good. He's pretty good, I think. Yeah, that'll be the only thing that Dehaka will have a tough time dealing with. But yeah, Stukov is also an A, I think, because I don't know. Ground Stukov is really thick. Raid boss, like the raid boss cannon barrage, I don't know if it can get through the bunkers. It might be able to get like halfway through one of the bunkers' HP, and the bunkers do not clump with each other, because like they're just so big. Like the reason why the raid boss cannons are dangerous is the same reason why Thor cannons are dangerous. Like they just smash small clumped up units. So yeah, I think Stukov ground, you back it up with some Diamondbacks, some of your own siege tanks. Now Stukov just has some infested Thors he can build too. That'd be really cool. You know, why can't Stukov build infested Thors? You know, that would be really cool. Anyways, Manx here is also in the A, because Manx I think is also really good this week in terms of just, I mean, Manx like anti-ground capacity is huge because of his shock divisions, but you'll be facing a lot of Tychuses. So Manx is not S because of that reason. Because if there's a Tychus, Manx is just gonna die. If your Tychus knows what he's doing, just buy Vega, steal every single Royal Guard, and then have enough AoE to destroy everything else that's not a Royal Guard. And that should be game over for Manx. That's basically it. Next in the A tier is also Nova. Nova's DFG is a pretty thick. It might clump a little bit. Hellbat Rangers actually might be bad this week, because they take bonus damage from the battle cannons. I could be wrong. I mean, they do have 500 health, so like, you know, who am I to say? I mean, they're quite thick. But you know, if they're not turning out as nicely, you can always go for hollow decoys. And I think the Thors are actually biological, so you could actually go for like a Ghost Marauder comp that just does initial contact damage. Although they do have 1,500 health, so maybe don't do that. You can always go Liberators as well. I think the Liberators just, I don't know. I feel like Air this week is gonna be really good because like they're gonna take less damage from the Thors. So yeah. In the B tier we have a bunch of commanders who they're all right, I would say. Some of them might struggle with the top matchups. For example, like Abathur. I think Abathur is actually not too bad, but I think like going up against like someone like Tychus, for example, oof, you're gonna have a pretty tough time. Because you have to go Guardians, Vipers. I think that's basically it. But that, even then, like that's pretty tough matchup for, against Tychus. You can probably easily take on the other ones, but I'm just centering around like how well do you do against Tychus? Like Hot and Horn, you can go grenade cars and then go Deimos Vikings, sell the Deimos Vikings, buy rates, sell the rates, buy Deimos Vikings again, or something like that. But eventually, like you're gonna run out of space. But yeah. Also, Hot and Horn ground is very vulnerable to the raid bosses because they clump, have low health, and yes, they do a lot of damage, but like it's still pretty vulnerable. So I think Hot and Horn might actually not be able to handle the raid bosses too well, unless you have a lot of wraiths. I think the wraiths will just delete them because they're big single targets. But yeah, like if you have any ground units, they either, I think they have to come in really late or they have to come in like staggered so that they don't all get blown up. But yeah, I'm not really too worried about Artanis though. Artanis units are just going to be a little bit more costlier to shield because of his shield changes. But like Tempest Enjoyment this week should just be very good. Especially if you get attack speed, they'll increase their attack speed. yeah, I don't know. You could also go Crusher Ground Artanis, which could be modified to have like zealots with the guardian shells, so they're basically kind of like sentinels at that point. And yeah, like I don't know, Crusher Ground I think should easily take care of any raid bosses and stuff. But against Tychus, you'll need Tempest. Vorzun's also B because I don't know. Her black hole makes her decently good. You can like suck in a bunch of enemy raid bosses. I don't know if you can confuse them because I think they're heroic, so they might not be confusable. But you could confuse your opponents. But I'm just thinking probably Vorzun will shine the most with like Corsair, Invisible, Void Ray, Black Hole. Especially if you get Fire too. Fire is really good on Vorzun because she just doesn't do enough damage, and so that'll really help her out. So I don't know. I think that should be good. Although I think Vorzun just really struggles into Tychus as well. I don't think she actually has a good option against Tychus. Tychus just beats up everything she has. So yeah. Next we have Raynor. I think Raynor potentially could have like the giant, like the biggest swing with like Hyperion. I don't know, quadruple raid boss coming out, and then you have like an air fleet. I think that's probably the ideal combo. You probably don't want to go Raynor Bio this week unless you like just try to like drop a bunch of Marauders at the start and then like knock out the enemy cannon because you dropped a bunch of surprise Marauders, and then like just don't have any more from there because like your ground units are gonna clump up real hard and they're gonna get annihilated by the raid boss. So that's not a good look. It's not a good look. I think probably air fleet is probably the best. In the C tier, we have commanders who are, I don't know, they're okay. They're questionable. Some of them have difficult matchups into Tychus. And yeah, I guess just in Tychus in general. Like I feel like the other commanders aren't really too hard to match up against. Like Stetman doesn't really have a good unit to deal with Tychus. Like he has battle carrier lords, or he had battle carrier lords, but now they cost more than a Tychus unit, so that's not really a counter. Yeah, but against everything else, I think you can go like the death stat, like the stack breaker with Ultralisk, Banelings, and Zerglings, and you can probably just push past everything. Ultralisk, I think they'll be able to lifesteal off of the raid bosses because they are mechanical, and yeah. They also take less damage, so I don't know. I think Stetman against the raid bosses, against no Tychus, it's not too bad. But like I think just the threat of there being a Tychus opponent always going to be here. Zagara, literally the same deal. She just blows up a lot of stuff, but I think she has difficulty dealing with Tychus's blaze. Actually, just really is really tough for her to deal with. But I think I don't know. I think against the raid bosses, she might have a bit of a harder time because they do a lot of splash on the ground that might kill the abs before they get close. But I don't know. I think abs are fast enough to like totally be able to blast it. Phoenix here is sort of like if you went Crusher Ground Karax, but without the beam. And without your zealots being able to revive themselves. So slightly not as good. And also your Colossus don't set the ground on fire. Just slightly not as good. You do have some heroes and they do some cool things, but I don't know if they'll be enough to offset, I guess, like what you'll be encountering this week. But yeah. And then finally in the D tier, we actually have a new contender for the D tier besides Swan. Yeah, we have Kerrigan. Sorry. My nose is really stuffy right now. I'm gonna go drink some water after. So Swan is in the D tier because Swan has mostly ground units that clump, at least his front line. So that's a bad sign. I guess Science Vessels might be able to mitigate some of it, but yeah, unless you have the freedom to build lots of tanks, you're gonna have a bad time against the raid bosses. And I'm assuming there's going to be a Tychus. So if you're against Tychus, you can't really build tanks. You have to build Cyclones to like, destroy Tychus's units. And also, I don't know. Where was I going with that train of thought? Nowhere, actually. I was not going anywhere with that train of thought. Yeah, that's basically it. That's my assessment on Swan. It's gonna be tough as always to get it rolling, But if you do get it rolling, I think things would work out. Anyways, Kerrigan is sort of like, I don't know what you're supposed to do this week. Like, do you go Lurkers? I think you just go Lurkers. But it's like all Kerrigan really has is just lots of money. to access, and like just bodies. She's just gonna be throwing bodies at people. Like you have Ultralisk, you have Zerglings, and you have, I don't know, I guess Lurkers would help out. But yeah, I think Ultra's probably not bad dealing with the Thors, Infested Thors, but you'll probably need Broodlords if you're against Tychus, 100%. I don't know how well the Broodlord. Actually, the Broodlords might be pretty good against them. So I don't know. It's just character just sort of feels strange to play. It's like you're Zagara. You're basically doing the same thing Zagara does, except you don't have explosions, which like makes it like 100% not as fun. I don't know. Well, anyways, if you let me know what you guys think about the tier list ratings for this week. And all the beautiful stuff. Let me know if you guys think I missed out on something that I totally didn't consider, because you know that happens. But yeah, until next time, I will see you guys later.
The tires, let's light some fires.
Need a light. They picked the wrong fight.